Hey, boss, he ain't working.
I believe our country is becoming more and more unprideful. We live in a world where it's justifiable to obey the law. More and more each day, you see the release of violent criminals. You see lawmakers decreasing the punishment of offenders. And now we have law enforcement pitted against one another. We have, on one hand, we have law enforcement and leadership that stand with the law and stand their ground. On the other hand, you have these liberal law enforcement leadership that are not going by the law, but are going based off of political stances. Let's review.
For the city and county of Philadelphia. And I say her name, Renee Good. Renee Good. Renee Good. Renee Good. Renee Good. Renee Good. This should not have happened, but we're here today. Let know that law enforcement professionals, real ones, not the fake made up ICE, probably Trump's new army to attack citizens of the United States. Did you hear what I said? No law enforcement professional wears a mask. None. None. Those that come into our communities wearing a mask to commit crime, thank God for our district attorney, Larry Krasner, who said he's going to lock them up. And I'm saying now, we are not going to whisk you away for them to hide your identity, because when you do it there, you're getting arrested there. No whisk away for them to hide you. None of that here. None of that here. Law enforcement professionals do not shoot at moving vehicles. I'm not saying fleeing, because she wasn't fleeing. She was getting out of the way. Law enforcement professionals do not stand in front of moving vehicles invoking an action that is illegal. No, we don't. And so we stand here today with all those who stand against the made up fake, what you can call ICE professional law enforcement. I don't call them none of that. I call them made up fake wannabe law enforcement, because what they do is against not only legal law, but the moral law. So I'm with the DA, and we will work with them. If any of them want to come in this city and commit a crime, you will not be able to hide. Nobody will whisk you off. You don't want this smoke, because we will bring it to you. And the fake, whatever they call them, because I can't say the name, but the criminal in the White House would not be able to keep you from going to jail.
You hear this blatant disrespect, the disrespect of law and order, and she's a police chief. She's a sheriff. She's a sheriff. I thought blue protect blue. I thought law enforcement protect law enforcement. Whether you agree with what transpired, that man's life was in danger. And you see the sickness of becoming political, getting politically involved, you heard what she said with the emotions. She said moral. You're not but what is the laws on the books? I beg to ask. And you see this repetitive, and then you go to these cities where crime is up. Philadelphia's crime rate is higher than the national average, with significant violent and property crime. You're worried about ICE coming in, removing people, which when you need to be in your DA is, I'm going to lock ICE up, when you need to be worrying about defending your constituents from violent and property crime. And y'all one of the highest in the nation. You worried about what happened in Minnesota when you need to be worried about what's happening in your own city. That's why I said this is political. this banter, these antics. She wanted a moment. She was, when she called them out like they're scared, you're trying to secure a moment. Let's take a look at Minneapolis Sheriff. Let's see what he said.
What his question is about when people call 911, what is the city's protocol in these situations? We've had a very dramatic increase in 911 calls related to this activity. We have a protocol in place that has been evolving as the situation has been changing. And at this time, there is a designated supervisor that is on duty 24/7 that fields those calls. And we do everything that we can to ensure that they are appropriately prioritized, with the priority being placed upon the protection of life and safety of everyone in the community.
Can you tell us any more about the woman who was...
How you can protect life when your own office cannot support ICE in making sure that civilians don't get out of line, as well as other law enforcement. You're not even out there. You're only out there to now combat ICE, but you're not out there to facilitate both sides. Unbelievable.
Fatally shot. Was she there as a legal observer, protester, bystander? What do you know that you can share?
So the question was, what can I share about the deceased? There is nothing to indicate that this woman was the target of any law enforcement investigation or activity. This woman was in her car, and it appears then blocking the street because of the presence of federal law enforcement, which is obviously something that has been happening, not just in Minneapolis, but around the country. She appears to be a middle-aged white woman.
Just about a month ago, you said these unplanned and questionable tactics by federal agents would result in someone being killed at a press conference right here. Do you consider today's tactics in line with that, or do you just have a generic response to the fact that somebody is now dead?
The question is that I had previously made several statements about being concerned about the tactics being employed. I am obviously very concerned that I have been told that a woman who was sitting in her car blocking the street and not the target of any enforcement activity is now deceased. However, I do not know, to be clear, I do not know the exact circumstances of the shooting, but I would tell you, in any professional law enforcement agency in the country, I think they would tell you it's obviously very concerning whenever there's a shooting into a vehicle of someone who's not armed. But it also is something that is possible. At times it is justified, but it is very concerning, and it's something that most law enforcement agencies in the country train very intensely to try and minimize the risk that law enforcement officers get placed into a situation that the need for deadly force would be necessary.
And you see how he's careful with his words, because the policies that are instilled in Minneapolis and Minnesota, he can't go any further. If they were out there along with the protesters, along with ICE, this wouldn't have happened. A person that ICE was not looking for got themselves in a situation because of the policies in that city. This could have been avoided if they allow police in Minneapolis create a safe environment where ICE can do their job and people can peacefully protest. But look, his hands are tied. That's why he's so careful with his words. That's why he doesn't want to go over the top and say what he believes happened to this lady, but he also doesn't want to go against his ethics. Now let's review what law enforcement leadership is supposed to say. supposed to stand. Let's review.
When it comes to federal agents, and I've been asked these questions, we do not interfere with the duties and responsibilities of federal agents. We don't have to agree with it. It doesn't matter. You don't have to agree with it. We do not interfere with their orders. And when they go out to carry out their orders, they will do that the way that they're trained to do it and their understanding of what it is they have to do. CPD will not arrest and cannot arrest federal agents because someone deems what they're doing is illegal or unlawful. Their rules of engagement are different from CPD and other local law enforcement agents. If for any reason a crime is being committed, an ICE agent, state, local police officers, if it involves law enforcement, we are going to show up. And whatever's going on there, we're going to work to stop it, put an end to it, calm the situation down. And if we need to stay there to continue to keep the situation calm, we will do exactly that.
And that is how your leadership should properly conduct themselves. You see the total opposite, and he's in a city, the city of Chicago, with one of the worst mayors in the country. And even though his hands may be tied, he still stands for the law. He still stands with the law in respects of his fellow law enforcement. Like the first video, that sheriff should never had that stance of we're gonna go against ICE. We're gonna go against the federal government because of Trump. That rhetoric is very dangerous, and she should know better as a leader of law enforcement. The law is the law. You cannot try to slice it and dice it according to how you feel or what's politically going on in this country. Let's review Polk County Sheriff's response in how he interprets what's going on in Minneapolis with the ICE shooting. I love this guy, man. I think he's awesome. I love when he talked that talk. Let's review.
This time in Polk County, where Sheriff Grady Judd is weighing in after an ICE agent shot and killed a driver during a confrontation in Minneapolis. Judd criticizing the city's mayor for commenting before the investigation is complete. Judd says video shows the driver using her vehicle as a deadly weapon, calling the shooting justified self-defense, while Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey labeled ICE's actions as reckless and chaotic.
So what did the occupant expect? They should have expected to be shot when you commit a deadly assault on a law enforcement officer. Cooperate with the law enforcement officers. Don't resist them. Don't violently resist them. If you do violently resist them, if you do felonious assaults with 2-ton weapons, expect to be shot.
And you just gotta love his responses because he's very, very spot on with all his characterizations when it come down to this shooting, as well as a lot of his other responses concerning criminal activity. These biases that we're currently seeing on the national stage is very distasteful. And it's not, and to be honest with you, it's not like I have never had a dispute with police, a dispute with law enforcement. I've been arrested. I've been detained. But on the flip side, I have family, I have friends that serve, and they want to come home too. And I think the rhetoric of his intent and her intent is quite ludicrous. I'm pretty sure she was trying to get away. But when those officers walked up to Renee, trying to open the door to detain her, you can see that her wife told her to to speed off. And we will review this in another video, but my point is, get out the way. Let law enforcement do what they're set out to do. When an ambulance is trying to come through, when the police is trying to drive through a light to get to a situation, what do? We move out the way, right? We do not impede on the ambulance coming through or the fire truck coming through or a police officer coming through. We do not impede them. We move out the way. And so I think with the sheriff in Philadelphia, what she stated is very sickening, very disheartening to know like that we have people in leadership like that throughout this whole entire country, because she's not thinking about her constituents and the crime is just running rapid there. She's not thinking about her officers that's under her that could be in a line of fire, could be hit by a vehicle. So I think that it's not smart for what she said. I think it's disgusting. We have to make sure that we're putting the right people in these top positions. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Remember to like, comment, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. It's Mercy. I'm out.